The GOAT debate is heating up in women's college basketball, and there's a new name at the top of the list, Caitlyn Clark. But what makes her so special? We'll be analyzing her skills, her highlights, and why she might be the best player we have ever seen. Alright, before we dive into the firestorm that is Caitlyn Clark, let's rewind a bit. Who's this Hawkeye phenomenon everyone's buzzing about? Caitlyn Clark is a sophomore guard tearing up the court for the University of Iowa. But she's not your average scorer. This sharpshooter has a range that would make Steph Curry jealous, and her ability to drain threes from anywhere on the court is simply mind-blowing. Some are even calling her the greatest shooter ever in women's basketball. Now, that's a bold claim. But with the highlight reel she's putting together, it's hard to argue. So, is the hype real? Let's break down her game. See some of those epic shots and find out if Caitlyn Clark is truly on track to become a legend. Chapter 1. Caitlyn Clark Effect. Let's talk about how Caitlyn Clark is changing the game of basketball. Caitlyn Clark made her college debut for Iowa Hawkeyes in the 2020, and just last month she was drafted number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever. Over her 4 years in college, she became the greatest scorer in college basketball history, amassing an incredible 3,951 points. That's not just a record, it's a legacy. But it's not just about the points. The Caitlyn Clark effect is real, and it's transforming women's basketball in ways we have never seen before. For instance, in March, Caitlyn surpassed the legendary Pete Maravich's all-time NCAA points record, a record that stood for more than 50 years. Her scoring prowess and electrifying style of play have drawn comparisons to NBA superstar Stephen Curry. Now, let's talk about the buzz she's created. This year's Iowa South Carolina National Championship game featuring Caitlyn averaged a staggering 18.9 million viewers. That's an 89% increase from previous year, making it the highest rated basketball game in 5 years across all levels, men's or women's. At its peak, 24 million people were glued to their screens. Incredible, right? Caitlyn's entry into WNBA is set to game changer. The Indiana Fever, her new team, had the second lowest attendance last season and were rarely on TV. But with Caitlyn on the roster, ticket prices for Fever games have more than doubled. And get this, at least 36 of the Fever's 40 regular season games will be shown on TV and streaming platforms, the most in the WNBA. Her impact was evident on draft night 2. Caitlyn was the number 1 pick, and the draft averaged 2.45 million viewers, a 307% increase from last year. Fanatics reported that her number 22 jersey became top-selling jersey ever for the draft pick in any sport, a record that was only later broken by Caleb Williams in the NFL. Caitlyn's influence extends beyond the court as well. Before even turning pro, she had already signed lucrative endorsement deals with Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and Panini. At the draft, she made history as first basketball star, WNBA or NBA, to be dressed by Prada, and she signed an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike, complete with her own signature shoe. And it is not about her endorsements. Caitlyn's presence is sparking discussions about the disparity in earnings between male and female athletes. For her rookie season, Caitlyn is set to earn $76,535 over 4 years. She'll make about $3,38,056. Compare that to last year's #1 NBA draft pick, Victor Wembanyama, who signed a $55 million deal. Caitlyn's on-court earnings are just 0.6% of Wembanyama's contract. Even President Joe Biden weighed in, highlighting the need for fair pay in women's sports. So, in just few years, Caitlyn Clark has not only elevated viewing ratings, attendance, and merchandise sales to unprecedented levels, but has also opened up new financial opportunities for student athletes and female basketball players. Her influence is huge and it's only growing. Stick with us as we dive deeper into Caitlyn Clark's game. Chapter 2. Gameplay Breakdown. Now, let's break down Caitlyn Clark's game. It's like unpacking a treasure chest of basketball brilliance. Caitlyn isn't just playing the game, she's redefining it with every dribble, shot, and pass. From her unmatched shooting skills to her masterful court vision, she's setting a new standard for what it means to be an elite guard. Number 1. Unmatched shooting skills. When it comes to shooting, Caitlyn Clark is on another level. She's known for hitting deep threes way beyond NBA three-point line. In her junior year, she hit 39% from 3 and averaged 3.7 three-pointers per game. Then, in her senior year, she upped the ante, shooting almost 41% and making over 5 threes per game. This kind of range isn't just for show, it stretches defenses and creates opportunities for her teammates. Clark's shooting stats are off the charts, ranking her among the top shooters in the country. She's changing how we think about point shooting in women's basketball, proving that high-risk, high-reward shots can be game changers. Number 2. Masterful passing and court vision. Caitlyn isn't just a scoring machine, she's a playmaker. She leads the country in assists, which shows her incredible court vision. She's always 2 steps ahead, finding teammates in perfect positions to score. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Her ability to see the game and understand her teammates' strengths make her a double threat. She's not just scoring points, she's setting up plays and orchestrating the game. This dual capability makes her an invaluable asset to the Iowa Hawkeyes and showcases how teamwork often outshines individual brilliance. Number 3. Physicality and speed. Let's shift gears and talk about Caitlyn's physicality and speed. Her speed and conditioning are just as crucial as her scoring abilities. Caitlyn excels in transition, blending raw speed with stamina to maintain her pace throughout the game. Her ability to switch from defense to offense quickly is the key factor in Iowa's success. The physical prowess is the result of rigorous training. Caitlyn pushes herself beyond limits in practice to bring unmatched energy and agility to every game. This allows her to outrun defenders and sustain peak performance levels, making her a constant threat on the court. Number 4. Signature moves and scoring techniques. Under pressure, Caitlyn shines with her signature moves. One standout move is the one dribble step back. This move starts with a quick dribble to her left, followed by a swift step back to create just enough space for a clean shot. It's simple yet highly effective, showcasing her creativity and execution. Caitlyn also excels at scoring through contact. Her ability to absorb contact and still finish the play is a testament to her strength and resilience. These techniques are honed through countless hours in the gym and refined against tough competition, making her one of the most exciting players to watch. So there you have it, Caitlyn Clark's gameplay broken down. From her deep shooting range to her incredible court vision, speed, and signature moves, she is truly redefining the game of basketball. Don't go anywhere because we are going to talk about why Caitlyn Clark might just be the best shooter this sport has ever seen. Chapter 3. best ever. So, what makes Caitlyn Clark the best shooter ever? First off, let's talk about technique. According to experts, a perfect shot should aim for a specific spot on the hoop, involve a smooth release, and follow a high arc. Caitlyn's forms checks all these boxes. Even if she hasn't read the studies, her shots are smooth, consistent, and always seem to find that sweet spot. But really, it all comes down to practice. Caitlyn's success isn't some scientific anomaly, it is the result of relentless reps. She spends countless hours perfecting her shot, starting with close-range foam work and gradually moving back to those logo threes we all love watching. Her typical practice includes making 300 shots, 100 free throws, 100 mid-range, and 100 three-pointers. And that's not all. She mixes in off-the-dribble shots and even works on her logo threes, aiming to make 50 out of 100. It's a grueling routine, but it's clearly paying off. Her hard work shows in her state. This year, Caitlyn averaged a career-high 31.9 points per game and led the nation in above-the-break three-pointers with 11.9 per game, hitting 38% of those shots. That's nearly 3 more per game than any other player. And let's not forget, she also led the country in assists per game. Talk about a dual threat. Now, that's fascinating about Caitlyn's shot is how she's refined even the smallest mechanics over the years. For example, she's learned to catch passes closer to her shooting pocket, which lets her get her shot off faster and keeps the ball in constant motion. It's all about efficiency and keeping that rhythm. Experts agree that top shooters like Caitlyn share certain traits. They all shoot with a consistent trajectory, typically close to 45 degrees, which gives them the best control. Their shots travel in a straight line to the rim, reducing the chance of a rattle out. Caitlyn's 25-foot three-pointer looks just like her 22-foot three-pointer. It's all about consistent form. At Loa, they use advanced shot analyzing technology to track players' performance. But for Caitlyn, they don't overload her with data. She's already doing everything right. Her clean shot pocket and release are always perfect. And she's developed these skills through years of practice and guidance from her coaches and family. So, whether it's through meticulous practice, refined mechanics, or her sheer natural talent, Caitlyn Clark's shooting is on another level. She's setting new standards and inspiring a whole new generation of basketball players. That's what makes her the best shooter ever. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Caitlyn Clark's journey and her incredible skills on the court truly makes her a game changer in women's basketball. If you enjoyed this deep dive into what makes her the best shooter, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon so you never miss an update on all things basketball. Until next time, keep shooting for the stars.